everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for joining me today. First of all, I want to apologize if the sound is weird. I am currently traveling, and so I am recording this voiceover in the car, in a parking lot. And I'm sure the people who are walking by think that I'm absolutely crazy, and I actually am. So let's get started with our cards. I'm making a couple of holiday Apothecary cards, and I am featuring the Hard Candy Christmas, which is just released in the new Essentials by Ellen September 2019 release. And this release from Brandy is full of some fabulous products that you're going to love, and I will have another card coming up on my blog this week featuring the Space Out stamp set. And if you want to see more still shots of projects that I've created using this entire release, be sure to head on over to my blog. So I'm starting these projects out by stamping the Apothecary jar onto some Neenah Solar White cardstock with some Gina K Jet Black Amalgam ink. And then I'm going to add a little bit of color. Now I'm creating shaker cards. So for each of the jars that I'm creating, I have 2 of these jars stamped, and you'll see why. On the front part of these jars, I'm going to add color to the top part and a little bit around the edge to create a little bit of shading for the glass. And then on the back part, which is what I'm working on here, so this is going to be the backer for the shaker, I'm blending on a little bit of this green tea ink using a blending brush from the Stamp Market. And then I'm going to take both of the back pieces, and I'm going to stamp some of the candies from the Hard Candy stamp set, Hard Candy Christmas stamp set, into the Apothecary jar. Now, I'm not worrying about the fact that it's overlapping or going outside of the stamped lines, because I'm going to die cut these out and they're going to be hidden behind another stamped image on top. So it'll kind of make more sense as we go along. Now, once I have all of my images colored, I have one colored kind of in Christmas colors and one in Halloween theme. I'm going to use the coordinating die to die cut these. And I'm using my Gemini Junior to just run them through. You can use whatever die cut machine you may have. And for the back pieces, I'm just cutting them out, just straight cutting them out, not doing anything fancy. This is going to go behind the window piece that I'm going to create here in just a moment. And you can see I have my Christmas one there on the left, and I'm die cutting the back portion for the Halloween one. Now for the front portion of the shaker cards, I'm going to die cut using the outline die. And then you can see this die right here that I'm kind of lining up in the center. That's going to cut a window out of this Apothecary jar to quickly make this into a shaker window. So I've die cut the outline first, and now I'm going to die cut the inside out using this coordinating die. This is a part of the coordinating die set that's sold separately. And you're going to see as I run this through my die cut machine, it's going to create the perfect shaker window for this Apothecary jar. I'm going to do that to both the Christmas version and the Halloween version. And then I'm going to use the standard outline die to die cut some window plastic for these as well. Now, when I die cut this window plastic acetate, I really like to use a metal shim. So I'm just going to throw that into my die cutting sandwich here with my Gemini Junior. And then I'll die cut that out. And of course, I'm die cutting 2 of these because I'm making 2 shaker cards today. Now for my first card, I'm going to use this scrapbook adhesive 3D foam sheets, and I'm going to die cut it using the outline die, and I'm die cutting this twice because I need 2 layers of this foam. So I'm starting out with the outline, and then I'm going to use that window piece that comes with the Hard Candy Christmas die set, and I'm going to cut the window out of this as well. So I'm going to make 2 of these foam layers, and that's so that I can really put something dimensional inside of this shaker that I'm creating. And once again, I'm just going to use my metal shim in my die cutting sandwich to make sure I get all the way through this double-sided foam adhesive here. And you're going to see that this die cuts really well. Now, because the areas are so fine on the edge, I did find that the backer sheet wanted to just peel off right away. And in order to just maintain the integrity of this piece of foam adhesive, this double-sided foam adhesive, I am going to just go ahead and attach it to my acetate piece. And that is just going to ensure that it maintains its shape. I know it's going to be the perfect shape. I know it's going to be the perfect depth and dimension because it's 2 layers of foam adhesive, and that's what I generally recommend when you're creating a shaker window. So I'm just going to place that on to the back of this Apothecary jar that's die cut from the acetate, and I'm going to put both layers on that. Now on top of that, I'm going to take my topper piece, the one that has the window cut out of it, and I'm going to adhere that on top of this stack using some Gina K Connect adhesive. And I'm just getting these all kind of put together because it's easiest for me, rather than having, you know, 9 pieces that I could possibly lose on my desk. The sooner I adhere them together, the safer that they are. So I'm just going to line that up, and this is really easy to kind of press into place. I'm just getting it all stacked up there, and you can see when I adhere this down, I'm going to turn it to the side so you can see that double layer of foam adhesive there with the acetate sandwiched between the foam adhesive and that topper piece. So now that I have this ready to go, I can fill it with my shaker bits. And for the Halloween version, I am going to use some googly eyes for the shaker bits. And I thought this was a really fun kind of twist on this Apothecary jar to have like this jar full of candy and eyeballs. Now, I will say on this version with the scrapbook adhesives foam sheets, I wish I would have taken a powder tool and kind of coated the inside of this window area, just the edges of it, with a little bit of that powder tool to keep the eyeballs from sticking to the edges. But in the end, it turned out okay. When I was ready, I went ahead and removed the backer from that double-sided layer of foam adhesive there and placed my backer Apothecary jar that has the candy and the ink blending on the back of that. And that creates a standalone shaker Apothecary jar. So you could make this into a tag, you could put this on a gift, but I'm gonna put it on a greeting card today. Now, I always like a little bit of sparkle and shine, even if there are eyeballs involved. So I'm grabbing my Tonic Nouveau Shimmer Pen and just adding a little bit of clear shimmer to my Apothecary jar. Now, another option, if you don't have a double-sided adhesive foam sheet, is to just take your standard double-sided foam adhesive, cut it into small strips, and if you remove both sides of the backing paper, you're going to have a very flexible thin strip that you can kind of then form around that Apothecary jar window. Now, I will tell you that these Apothecary jars as shakers are just a teensy bit tricky, only because the sidelines of this Apothecary jar where that window is are so fine. So you just want to make sure that you use scissors to cut those down into really narrow strips. And you want to make sure that as you're placing the foam adhesive around the window, that all of the foam adhesive is kind of connected around the window to keep any shaker bits from kind of falling out. Now, I have the backer sheet from the foam adhesive here that I have saved because I am going to store this on there until the shaker bits for this Christmas version arrive. I hadn't received them yet. I'm not going to show you the entire assembly of the Christmas version because it's very similar to the Halloween version. I'm just going to get my foam adhesive ready on it, and that way when all the shaker bits come in the mail, which they came a day or two later, I can just fill it and then place the backer on and it's ready to go. Now, to complete these cards, I've die cut some other items to go along with it. For the Halloween version, I've die cut a couple of Spiderwebs using the Essentials by Ellen die and some vellum. And then I'm also going to use the Essentials by Ellen Snowfall die to create kind of a little landing area for both of these cards. So I've just taken some Essentials by Ellen Oyster Gray cardstock, cut it down, used my Snowfall die to create a little bit of pattern. It can kind of be like a spooky spell kind of feel on the Halloween version, or it could be just like a snowfall feel on the Christmas version. I love this die because you can use it for so many things. And before I adhere this onto my card front, I am going to blend on a little bit of the Catherine Pooler Juniper Mist ink. It's a nice navy ink. And then I'll attach it onto my A2 size card base using some foam adhesive. Now, for my card base on both of these cards, I'm using the Essentials by Ellen linen cardstock. It's cut to 4 1/4 by 11 inches and then scored at 5 1/2 inches to create a top folding A2 size card. I'm using my Gina K Connect adhesive to adhere these vellum spider webs onto this backer piece that I've created here. And I've also die cut some glitter cardstock using the brand new Treat, and Boo word dies that are also available from the Essentials by Ellen September 2019 release. So those are brand new for this month. These Spiderwebs are a part of August's release from the Essentials by Ellen line. So I'm kind of combining a bunch of releases here, but the main focal image is this adorable eyeball shaker apothecary jar. So now the only thing left to do is to take my sentiment and adhere it on there. And I did add a couple little embellishments. I added a little handmade tag that says "For You" on the top using a little bit of Hero Arts papaya cardstock. And I added a little bit of silver lawn fawn twine to the top of this apothecary jar as well. And here you can see the completed Christmas version. I added a little bit of greenery using the My Favorite Things Grand Greenery die and some adorable embellishments from Trinity stamps. And as always, I will have the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure to check there. And if you're looking for more inspiration featuring this Essentials by Ellen September 2019 release, be sure to head on over to my blog. Over there, I'll have more still shots, more information, and more projects featuring this fabulous new release. Over there, you'll also find some information on a fabulous giveaway for this entire Essentials by Ellen September 2019 release. So be sure to head on over there because it's a fabulous blog hop and there's fabulous prizes. As always, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. And while you're there, don't forget to turn on the notifications so that you'll be notified every time there is a new video. I'm so glad you're here. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end. You know, if you've made it this far, you are one of my favorites. To subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click the button on the left side of the screen. And here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy.